to give you just basically a quick update with what I've done to this point. Again, we're still working on our rear battery box, which you guys have seen a bazillion times. And you've seen that we've got our battery management system mounted, our low voltage wiring connector mounted, our plumbing for our cooling. We've got our high voltage plugs mounted, and I've mounted our contactor here and made a bus bar that goes to our bottom battery. And then I also made a 2-aught cable that's going to go to our high voltage connection once it's all finished up. And for now, we've got 2 batteries in here. So what I've been doing is basically preparing the batteries to go in this box, which requires us to trim down the battery side mount pieces. There will also be some dowels that we'll be putting in these holes here. Right now, as we stack the batteries, we're connecting the bus bars, which are here. These are really buff bus bars. They're copper with a nickel plating on them. All right, so you're probably wondering why I'm covering all this edges and tape. And the reason for that is I have to grind off some material off the side of this bin. So we gotta lose this little hump right here. We gotta make it flat all the way across. So I had to grind this off with a grinder. And then we have to take about a 1/16 of an inch off the end here to get it to fit between these just right and to allow no play at all between the battery and the box. So we want it to go in there super snug so there's no movement at all. So because I'm grinding, I want to make sure that none of the metal particulate gets down inside these clear trays here. If the metal or aluminum gets down inside these trays and we don't clean it out, we're not careful, we could have a short, and that's not a good situation. So I want to be extremely cautious anytime you're cutting or drilling or anything around these batteries. You want to make sure that they're all sealed up and none of that debris can get inside these clear cases. Well, I've been tinkering around with this box for a few hours now. I got tapped on the shoulder and I'm pretty excited because my boy Henry from Tesla Parts, you guys have seen us tagging them in all of our social media posts and stuff, but they have been an integral part of this project. He actually brought up our new drive unit as well as our brake boosters. Henry, what's up, dude?
How's it going, brother?
Good, man. Holy cow.
Got a van full of goodies for you here.
Is this powering the van or no?
Yeah, this is the old Performance Transit.
Is it?
So we have a Tesla Model S P85. This is sport motor.
Nice.
Almost 600 horsepower.
600 horsepower?
Got your
I thought we were trying to hit 700.
We can hit 700 with Matt's goodies.
All right, what else you got here? Is this for other customers?
So we got Matt here. We got some heater elements for some of his projects.
Oh, sweet.
We got your high voltage cables for the drive unit here, the engine harness, motor harness.
Dang. So what's awesome about having Henry helping us out is that he has access to all these parts, but how do you get all these parts?
So what we do is we buy cars at auction, you know, mostly Tesla Model S, some Model X, and we're getting into Model 3. We bring them in and we part them out, salvage all the good parts. Batteries and motors, drivetrain stuff is always the big seller, but we have everything, you know, toes to head on Model S, Model X, and some Model 3. We're at Autobahn Dismantling. I run the Tesla division there. We do a couple other cars with German, you know, BMW and Porsche, but we're in El Cajon, San Diego, East County.
Which is rad. That's right in our neck of the woods. And I will say, we met you guys through Rick's Porsche Adventures because I think you guys had some Porsche dismantling you were doing.
That's right.
So, Henry, how are we gonna unload this thing? Because it looks really heavy.
It's super heavy. 185 pounds.
Dude, I'm not lifting that.
So we get an engine hoist.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to. So
got it in there.
Matt. This drive unit weighs about 285 pounds, so we're not gonna try to break our backs getting it out of here by hand. We're going to actually have Matt and his boy Matt bring out the forklift, the Tesla powered forklift that is, to actually unload this thing because yeah, it's Friday and I want to go into the weekend with a healthy back. Okay, so one of the other things that we're going to be adding to this car is the iBooster, which is Tesla's way of controlling vacuum for the brake system. This will provide the vacuum that we need to control our brake system, as will also control our regenerative braking setup. Alright guys, well, we're on our number 4 of this battery pack, and Matt and I are lifting the last one in. This thing's really heavy. Okay, looks like we're lined up on the bus bar here, which is a good sign. That means all the pre-fitting we did was accurate, and now we have 4 modules in here, which is pretty sick. We put the bolt in. Boom. So you were saying, be careful what you touch, right?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because now it was 24 volts, now you got 4 of them.
Now you got 24 times 4, 96.
I'm gonna take my socks off. 96, yeah.
So 96 volts is nothing to mess around with, guys. So we're taking every precaution here. One of the things I will say about the guys here is they're very meticulous, and I can appreciate that. It leads to things taking a little longer than they probably need to, but at the same time, safety is number 1. And also not damaging the equipment, because the equipment here that we're installing is all very expensive stuff. So one wrong move, one wrong tool in the wrong place, and it can get ugly real quick and expensive. So this process is taking a long time. I appreciate you guys just bearing with us as we move through this. I hope you're learning something, because I know I am. And I'm honored to be in the presence of these guys here at throtlVIP, because without them, I don't know where we'd be with this project. So we're gonna keep moving on. I think now that we've got 4 batteries here, it's cell tap time. I know I've been talking about cell taps an awful lot, but there's really nothing left to do in here other than that, right? Mm-hmm. And we got to connect some contactor stuff, and our this is 12 volt stuff.
Yeah, the big stuff left we got to do is just
cell taps and BMS.
That's the bulk of it.
Stuff. Sweet. All right, let's go. We actually need to make these rods that are going to run basically over top of our batteries, keep the top of the box nice and square, and squish these batteries, not squish, but hold the batteries together basically, so that they're not going to be able to move front to back, side to side, and in this case, up or down. So we're going to go ahead and actually we need to make 3 of these, and they'll have threads inside, M8 threads. It'll go through this hole here, this hole here, and this hole here, and that'll be the final piece to keep these things from moving around. So I need to cut 3 of these at 11 3/4 inches, and then tap the end on both sides, and then we'll run hardware through them, and then we can move on to cell taps. Alright guys, well I've been soldering away over here, getting a bunch of these wires kind of buttoned up in our rear battery box. You can see we've made quite a bit of progress with that. And right now we have a pre-charged resistor that I've already mounted in the box, but I had to remove it in order to solder on some wiring. These are the leads that are going to run to our fuse here and over to this distribution here. Again, there's a lot of wiring, and I'm kind of learning as I go here, so it's enjoyable, but it is very time consuming. So I'm just going to keep plugging along. I'm going to give you guys an update when I'm done with this, and then also if you stick around, I'm going to give you a little explanation of why we are where we are with this project and how we're going to carry on. All right, well, I got that all buttoned up. I also got our fuse panel routed and ran here properly. So that's gonna be it for today. So just for record, that was about 5 hours spent on this, getting this wired up. And that is just a very small piece of what actually has to happen. It looks something like that. That's a proprietary document that I can't show you guys, but it's pretty in-depth, and basically it's a roadmap for the whole electrical system and all the componentry that's involved. So that's a wrap for today, but I want to take a second and sort of let you guys know kind of where we are with the project and just do a quick little update. I'm sure you guys will find it interesting as much as I do, and it'll make you have a little better understanding about why this thing is taking us so long. It looks so plain and simple on the outside, but then you open it up and there's a lot of stuff in here. All right, well, feels good to get another day under the belt here at Stealth EV, and we're gonna head home, but we're gonna be back in a day's time because there's still a lot more wiring and things to go. But I wanted to give you guys just a quick heads up. We see the comments, guys, that, you know, where's the Z? Did you guys forget about the Z? What's up with the 350Z electric? We didn't forget about it. I got a lot of projects going on at the shop. As you guys know, you watch our videos. The Civic and the Z both have sort of been put on pause for the time being. And maybe I should update the Civic too. So the Civic has been on the lift for 7 months now. And it's all due in part to a supplier that I'm working with was custom making a component for me and said they could handle it. Here we are 7 months later and it's still not done. I should have just done it myself, but being it was their component, they wanted to handle it start to finish, and I respect that, so I gave them back the parts to modify. We haven't gotten them back yet. That's neither here nor there. Hopefully we're on the right track now, and the Civic should be picking up again soon. But back to the Z. So that rear box that has our 4 batteries in it, the remaining 12 batteries go up front. But the majority of the wiring that we're doing is going in this rear box, and that's why it's taking so long. The other reason it's taking so long is because I don't know what I'm doing. This is new to me. And this is a big deal. There's a lot of voltage running through there, not necessarily just yet because we only have 4 batteries in this one box, but you can still get a good shock from it. And not only is it a little bit sketchy to work on, there's a lot going on in there. There's a lot of wires to run. I'm trying to route everything really nicely in a way that we're not going to have issues with it in 100 miles down the road when it's vibrating and stuff like that. So there's just a lot of little detail work that needs to be done, as well as just tedious wiring and hooking things up. So I'm not going to make any more excuses. Just so you guys know, I'm here 1 to 2 days a week working on this thing as much as I can, and I'm making as much progress as I can as quickly as possible. I can't keep making videos of me doing wiring on this rear box because it's going to get really boring, but you can imagine being in my seat where I'm actually the one here doing the work. I can't just fast forward a video. I actually have to do it. So let me tell you, it's a long and arduous task. I'm gonna get it done, but just hang in there, guys. There's gonna be more really exciting 350Z electric car content coming up as we start to button up this wiring and we get closer to driving this thing. I cannot wait. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for hanging through with this maybe somewhat boring wiring stuff, but we'll get there. We'll see you guys in the next one.